video. So today we're back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this luxury underground home. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and I will also go ahead and put a link in the description to the online gallery if you want to go ahead and download the build that way. So this build has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and I built it on a 30 by 20 lot in Newcrest, and it came in at 102,729 simoleons. Now that price isn't final because, as you may know, recently I have been trying to go back through at the end of a build that's finished and see if there's any kind of items that are maybe just that one item from one pack that I can remove, just to reduce the pack list to make it easier for you to download. So at the minute there is Island Living, Get Famous, Seasons, Cats and Dogs, City Living and Get Together used for the expansions, and then for the game packs there's Jungle Adventure, Parenthood, Dine Out and Spa Day, and for stuff packs there's Laundry Day and Perfect Patio. Now those are all the packs that I've got at the minute. Now I'm planning on taking out Island Living because I only use the plant from there. The same with Perfect Patio because I only use the barbecue from there. And I think there's a few others as well. So that pack list isn't final, but some of those that I mentioned will be removed. So have a look on the gallery if you don't have some of those packs to see which ones I downloaded, because if it's just one item or something, then it may still work for you. So like I said, this is an underground home. I do a lot of underwater homes, as you probably know, and a lot of people actually like those type of builds on my channel, and that's why I've done so many of them. But I don't have like a million and one ideas I can do for underwater homes, so I do have a few more that I can do in the future, but I just thought I'd do something a little bit different but still kind of go with that similar sort of theme of it being a different kind of home for me to do. We're doing an underground one today. It's actually funny because I'm so used to doing underwater homes. Literally every file that I have for this build here, so the Sony Vegas file, the Photoshop file for the thumbnail, and all that kind of thing, I've titled it Luxury Underwater Home because I'm so used to doing underwater homes, so I had to go back through and change all that. And it's actually funny because I have done a luxury underwater home as well, which is actually one of my most popular builds, both on Instagram because that got nearly 9,000 likes, and also in terms of views on YouTube, but this one is slightly different. It's still very luxurious, but it's just underground, not with the water aspect in it. So I'm kind of doing a little sort of like a little entranceway here. It's got a few outdoor activities in. I actually saw my friend Miss Griffey do this a little while ago in an underwater home, and that's kind of what got me thinking about doing, similar idea to the underwater home, but just switching it up a little bit. So that's what we're doing here. And this build really took me no time at all. I think it was just about like 35 minutes or so. So you see the full footage today from start to finish without any jump cuts, so you can see the whole landscaping process, all of the floor planning and choosing out the wall coverings and stuff, which normally I do cut that sort of thing out because it is slightly boring, but I say this a lot as well, but if there is the time for it in the speed build, I will go ahead and include it. And since this build didn't take me too long today, I just went ahead and did that. So I didn't really do a whole lot with the exterior of the build. I did, as you may have seen earlier, I did try to put a few skylights in using the tiles from Island Living, but it didn't really work out, so I just went ahead and kind of covered it all up with greenery and stuff, which I still think looks kind of nice. And there is still a little bit of outdoor space, so there is the barbecue, and there's an outdoor seating table. There's also a little garden section there as well, so your Sims can use that and make some money. And now we're just working on the interior, kind of choosing out the colours and stuff. As you can see, it's kind of just cycling through different things, nothing too exciting. That's why I normally take it out the speed build. And also I had a comment a little while ago, well probably just like a week ago or something, about saying I need to try and sort of come up with more of a consistent theme in terms of wall coverings throughout home, because I kind of took that comment on board, because I know I do a lot of random sort of colours when it comes to the bedrooms. How I normally kind of work out a colour palette within the build is that I kind of have like a similar sort of thing going throughout the main part of the home, like the hallways and the living room and kitchen and stuff like that. So I might go for like a dark colour scheme with like dark woods and browns, or I may go for lighter stuff like creams and whites. So I normally choose that, but then when it comes to the bedrooms, instead of having it all like the same sort of colour, that's when I do try to switch it up by incorporating colour, like in kids' rooms or something like that, and that's why that person left that comment. So for this build, I did try to go for more of a sort of colour scheme that is more specific to how I did in the main part of the home, and it kind of goes into the bedrooms as well, but at the same time I feel like that is a little bit boring, so I may keep to what I normally do with changing up the bedrooms. But I just wanted to know your opinion on that. Do you agree with that person that I should go for more of a consistent theme in the bedrooms as well, or do you not mind it being a very kind of consistent theme theme in the main part of the home and then change up colours as I go through the bedrooms. So let me know what you think about that. And this build as well, this should have been up yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to do the voiceover because I was like out all afternoon and I just didn't get a chance to do it. And then I kind of came back home and it was already past the time to upload, which is 6:30. And I was thinking, should I upload it? And I was thinking, oh well, by the time I render and upload it, it's going to be a little bit late. So you're seeing this today, and then tomorrow I will also have a mansion build up as well. So tomorrow's theme is an autumn theme, which I'm really happy about because, as I was saying in Rose Avenue build the other day, I'm really excited to start doing more autumn builds on the channel in the next couple of months. So I will have a autumn themed mansion coming up tomorrow, and I'm really happy how it turned out actually. So yeah, like normal, every Sunday I do a mansion build, and yeah, so now we're just working on the living room area. I did have a bit of trouble trying to figure out how I was going to kind of sort of floor plan this main part here with like the kitchen and the dining room and the living room. I decided to go for like a very open plan theme, and I always have trouble when it comes to this sort of thing when I'm doing basements, because this really is just a basement, this home, and it's normal in just regular homes as well that I build that have basements, is that sometimes I do struggle to figure out a floor plan, because you have a lot of freedom and in terms of not having to worry about, like, you know, how the windows look on the exterior and things like that, because that doesn't matter for a basement, but you know, it's sometimes a little bit too much freedom and it kind of makes it hard to decide on things. But I figured out just like an open plan sort of thing here, and yeah, so I kind of went for like a darker colour scheme. I thought it'd be nice for like the underground, kind of fits well with that, but to kind of switch it up from not being too, you know, too dark, I just went ahead and incorporated colour here and there, not too much, like, you know, just like the red lamps as you saw there above the dining table and stuff, and the those Get Famous dividers I have behind the TV, just, you know, little things here and there, and like I said, there are 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms today. Now, since this is a very luxurious home, I didn't really think of like kids living here, so I didn't actually go ahead and do any kind of kids themed stuff in this build, but of course, you know, feel free to do that by, you know, changing up one of the bedrooms, or really, since this is a basement home, it'll be so easy to expand on this house because you don't have to worry about what it looks like from the outside, because you can expand in any way you want on this home and it won't affect how it looks from above. So, you know, feel free to add on to this home if you want to, and you can even go down another basement level. I didn't know this until a little while ago when I did that underwater bunker home. You can actually go ahead and do a second basement level as well. So if you want to, you know, extend it going down instead of out, then, you know, feel free to do that. And yeah, so we're just working on another bedroom here. Again, nothing too exciting about it, but I did go ahead and include all the footage, because like I was saying, you know, there are some boring bits before, like I was mentioning about, you know, choosing out the colours and stuff, but I know I don't always include that in speed builds, and I know some people like to see it, so it's just a bit of a balance really. And I was trying to switch up the bedrooms where I could. Again, I did do this in my Rose Avenue build the other day. I was mentioning the same thing. I always feel like I'm in a rut with bedrooms and I can't figure out how to make them different, because, you know, it's like in real life anyways, you have your bed and you have 2 end tables either side, but you know, in the Sims that's fine and everything, but because I do so many builds, I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again, even though there isn't really any other alternative. But I have just been trying to switch it up where I could, you know, instead of putting you know, bedside table lamps, just kind of filling it up with like clutter or plants and stuff, and then just have like wall sconces above the bed instead, just as a little thing to switch it up. Doesn't really make too much of a, you know, difference, but you know, and now we're just working on the purple room, which I think is probably the master room, but it doesn't have to be. It's just because it's got the fireplace in, because I had the space for it, but you know, feel free to change it up where you could. And I know I said I didn't actually do any kids rooms today. I did try to add, you know, like maybe a slight personality to it, so you know, that purple room, you know, maybe a little bit more feminine, and this one maybe a bit more masculine, maybe for a teen boy or something, but you know, that's just to give you a little bit of an idea if you're stuck to what family might live here, and you can go ahead and use that or change it up if you want to. And there's also a separate study room as well, which is kind of at the front of the build, and also this little kitchen area here with a few bar stools and also a dining table. So it's definitely more seating than you need for this home, but you know, sometimes if you're having a party or something, it's kind of good for that. And yeah, so we're pretty much finished with the build here. I'm going to leave you here with the screenshots in just a second. I really hope you enjoyed. In the comment section down below, let me know about what you thought of it. If you have any more suggestions for other builds or anything else that you want to see on the channel next, that'd be really helpful to hear. And like I said, you can go ahead and download this build from the gallery. My origin ID is Real Thomas TV1, and I will also have a link in the description to the online gallery if you want to go ahead and download the build that way. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.